Hi, I'm Catherine and welcome to CheatingDeath.com. Today we're going to be investigating some yoga poses and we're going to be doing some vinyasas. I am going to explain to you some of the basics that we'll use throughout our time together, and I'll be showing you some modified versions as well. Now, with any sort of yoga, even if you're just starting out right now, today is your first yoga session, the breath is extremely important. It's really what keeps us going throughout our practice. So we're going to be focusing on our breath just as we start our time together. Now, most of us will breathe only halfway down into our esophagus, or maybe if we're lucky, just to the tip of where our lungs start. What we really want to focus on today in our time together doing some vinyasa yoga is to breathe and make sure that we fill up our belly, because we can breathe all the way into our diaphragm, and then that will really help us to sustain our practice, our poses, help us get through some of the tougher holds, and it will really increase the oxygen in our blood. So it's an extremely important part of any yoga practice. So let's just breathe together and make sure that you're even puffing out your belly a little bit to make sure that you're filling it with air. And breathe through the nose. We'll exhale together through the mouth. And inhale, puffing out the belly, and exhale. Let's just make a little ha sound. Ha. And inhale once again. Exhaling. Now we're going to take one more inhale together, and as we exhale this time, we're still going to make that ha sound, but we're going to close our mouth and kind of drag our breath against the back of our throat. So inhaling together, filling up the belly, and exhale through the nose, making that ha sound. Now that's what we call the Ujjayi breath. That's the victory breath, and that's what's really going to help us get through our practice today and really stretch and hold our poses to the utmost of our ability. So let's take one more breath. Exhaling that Ujjayi breath. So we're going to start, after taking some deep breaths and exhaling an Ujjayi breath, in mountain pose. Now it looks really serene, really easy, and it could be pretty easy if you just kind of stood like this. But this is a very active pose. We're tightening our core. Right here we're using bandha, which is the core. Our feet are together, our toes are touching, our knees are touching, and we are really standing, focusing on being in the moment. Our hands are together in prayer, and our thumbs can be touching our chest, so that our elbows are really helping to press our palms together in mountain pose. We're very active in this pose. And let's just take some more breaths together. And inhale through the nose. Exhaling that Ujjayi victory breath. Now on our next inhale, we're going to swoop our hands up and look up, and our palms touch. This is also a yoga pose, and we are reaching for the sun. So our arms are very, very active. Our fingers are extended, reaching up. So from mountain pose, inhale and swoop your arms up. On the exhale, we'll dive over. Remember, don't strain your knees. You want to keep a micro bend, or if your hamstrings are really tight, you can even bend your knees considerably. Just make sure you're really listening to your body. That's an extremely important part of yoga, because you don't want to risk an injury in your hamstrings. So we are reaching up, looking up, palms touch, and dive over. And now we're going to be doing what's called an A series. So we'll just work together to be able to investigate some more poses. From forward bend, you look up into what is called flat back. Now, whatever you have to do to get your back flat, if you have to come up, or if you can keep your back flat even by touching the mat, then you can do that. You're going to be looking forward. On the inhale, flat back. On the exhale, we'll fold once more, fold over. And then on the inhale, we're going to be swooping our arms up again, palms touch. On the exhale, we bring our hands back down into mountain pose. That's a really nice way to start our practice. It gets us to breathe together, and it gets us to do some really nice stretching too. Thank you so much for being with me this afternoon. I'm Catherine, and don't forget to go to cheatingdeath.com, where you'll find fascinating articles and great deals on today's yoga products and yoga clothes.